And welcome to WMB1 Radio. You're in tune to Straight to the Point Sports here on WMB1 Radio, where we're broadcasting on Facebook Live from our downtown studios. And I'm here with my two regulars, Steve Lopes and Derek Consasio. What's up, fellas?
What up? What up? What's going on, man?
All right.
It's that time of season, fellas, where we can start getting really excited about Sundays. So now, from now all the way until February, we'll have.
I'm excited.
I already started being excited for Sundays in the last 2 months.
So, but it's official now.
Yeah.
We'll have.
Right, because you started
football.
going to church to pray for a good season.
Oh,
No,
here we
not
go.
even
I'm
close.
just practicing.
So,
Isn't your quarterback Mighty Mouse?
Here we go.
Sorry.
All right, guys. All right, guys. Stay focused. Stay focused. So
Mighty
we'll
MVP.
actually have football every Sunday, starting this Sunday all the way up until Super Bowl Sunday.
It's a good time.
So you know, Sundays are going to become, not that Sundays now isn't a great thing because we got our Dottie parties going
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
But it's going to be even extra now with football starting. So dial in, sit down, relax, and get your popcorn ready because the 2025-2026 season is in full effect. Starting tonight, actually, right? Preseason games
It's
tonight.
4 games tonight.
So when did you say 2026?
I mean 2026, 2027.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm stuck in last year. Starting tonight, right? There's three
Three or four games.
Four games. I
four
believe.
games. It's
Yeah.
4 games on.
I
Tonight?
saw Packers in Pittsburgh.
Lions and
Who the Patriots? play?
Patriots and Colts.
Yeah,
And
I know they said Drake May wasn't playing,
And
but
I think there's
Yeah,
one
you
more.
won't see many people.
that's all right. I want to see number 1 draft picks play.
You won't see many of the veterans, especially quarterbacks. I mean, what's the sense? I mean,
Yeah, they're established.
you're
they
just
get their reps in
you're
practice.
just asking for something. So, Lions, Bengals, Packers, Steelers, Colts, Patriots, Chargers, Texans,
That's 4.
Cardinals, Raiders,
Wow.
Titans, 49ers.
Oh, all those
6.
games.
All those
I think
games.
because they play
1, 2,
preseason's like
3,
Thursday
4,
and Fridays.
5, 6 games tonight.
Or they broke them up so that there's 6 games each day: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
Let's see. I'm
Get some
looking at
exposure.
Friday. So
Are they-
Friday,
are they-
there's only 2 games. Saturday there is Saturday there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more, 7, 8 games.
yeah, because there's only 2 on Fridays.
And then on so
6,
it's
2, 8.
it's just those games. There's nothing Sunday.
Yeah, 16 games. Was there 32 teams? So
Yeah.
16 games altogether.
So then I'm sure they'll rotate. So if you played on Saturday, you'll probably play on Thursday. The teams that played on Thursday will probably, just to make it even, as they would as if there were a Thursday night game. If you play Thursday, you usually play either Sunday or Monday night, because of the short schedule. They give the players a chance for their bodies to rest and recoup. But yeah, so that's how it goes. But at any rate, we're going to be talking today about obviously we need to talk about the Boston Red Sox. They went from red hot to ice cold.
The Sour Patch team.
27-3. In the last, they were 27-3 over 30 games, and 1-4 in their last 5 games. Right now, they're winning 7-0.
That'll be their only win against Toronto in the series, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
They got swept by
it'll be-
Oakland.
No,
No,
they swept.
they got one.
2 out of 3.
Oh.
They lost 2 out of 3.
They won the first one.
Yeah, they lost 2 out of 3. And then 3 out of 4. It looks like they're gonna end up losing. Oh no, it's a final. So they won 7-0. So that's good news. So yeah, 27-3 in 30 games, and then in the last 2 games, last 2 series, they're 2-5. So they played 4-3. 4-game series.
The Athletics was a 4-game series or a 3-game series? I
No,
thought they were
Toronto was 4 games.
Yeah. And
Toronto
then
was
the
4
Athletics was 3, but then
And
they
3.
swept the Dodgers.
So they're
didn't
2-5. No, I'm saying
That was before.
I'm saying they were 27-3,
they? Yeah.
and then the in their last 30 games, and then the last 2 series,
They won 2
they're
now.
2-5.
Yeah.
2-5. we'll talk about them and some of the problems that they face and some of the things that could happen because they got some players, some bats coming back possibly real soon that could give relief. Also, we'll talk about NBA news, new faces and new places. Which players will have the biggest impact in their new homes? We know there's
Big
a
names.
slew of players that have changed locations. We'll talk about that. And also, we'll touch upon the most controversial list that came out. One that is the mass all-time great high school boys basketball list. And everybody seems to have their own opinions.
Mhm.
But let me get one thing straight. In the conversation, I always see people, right? It's misunderstood. They put
High
these
school
players
players.
down and then they say, oh, went on to have a great college NBA, but this one didn't. Listen, stick to the crux of
What did you do in high school?
yes, it's in high school, not in college, not failing to make the NBA. It says high school. So that's where it stops. It stops at high school. We'll talk about that much, much more. Remember, anybody got any questions, comments? 774-425-2631. You can tap in there and you can, add your own comments, thoughts, subjects, whatever the case, or you can piggyback off of what we're talking about. All right. First things first. We'll talk about those. Red Sox. As I said today, they managed to win 7-0. So they went 1-3 against the Blue Jays. And prior to that, at home against the lowly A's, they went 1 out of 3. So little cause for concern. After being so hot and doing so well, it's kind of a downer. It seems, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it seems like their bats went stale, and they started making a lot of errors.
Yeah, because their
Costly
pitching's
errors.
been good. They haven't
Pitching.
been giving up a bunch of runs except late in the game. They've been blown leads. But I agree.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's in the last two series they looked as if they looked how they were playing in the beginning of the season, not how they looked when they were playing in that torrid 30 game pace winning streak that they were on. It just seems as if they were making a lot of mental errors, and the timely hitting wasn't there, and the errors compounded, things by not making those outs were costly because the teams capitalized on those errors. But if you look at their schedule, it gets tough now. So they're going to have the Yankees to close out the season. They're going to run back into the division. I believe in the next 3 weeks they've got the Yankees twice. They've got the Rays. So they're going to jump back into the division, which is going to be, which is going to tell how their season is going to go. Right now, they currently, I believe, they're the number 2 wild card, right?
Yeah, number 2 right now.
They're number 2. I believe they're four or 5 games.
Yesterday, as of yesterday, before today's game, they were 4 games above the team below them.
Yeah, was it Texas? Who was it? I'm not sure. I'll look it up. Doesn't make any difference now. I mean, when we were last on, right? We talked about it. We touched upon it, and
Yeah, because it was the trade deadline the last
yeah,
time
we
were on.
we talked about it, and
We like their moves.
we talked about what they were doing as far as how would they look in the next 30 games, right?
From this date today, well, tomorrow to the 26th, they play all National League teams. They got we got Pittsburgh coming in next. Well, playing Pittsburgh next. Then we got the Diamondbacks for 3 at home. Then we got the Giants for 3 at home, and then we go to Miami for 3, and then that's when we start to
Jump back into the American League.
That's when we start to
Yeah.
Basically
August
from
28th.
September on. Yeah.
Yeah.
End of
August
September
28th.
to the end of the year is
August
division.
28th, 29th, the 30th, we got the Yankees. and then Seattle, Baltimore, and then the Angels.
Yeah. So
DC, Texas.
they're going to have to tighten their belts up because um you know obviously you know it's not panic mode yet, but you gotta you can't stay hot in the middle and then fizzle out at the end. Last year was just the opposite. They caught fire and they were pretty good going all the way to the end of the year. So they need to ride that wave again. Listen, even if they go 500,
We gotta beat up on these teams. That are
Yes.
lower
Yeah,
than
you mentioned the
national.
National League teams. We should do pretty
We
well.
should we
against.
should beat up on those teams.
yeah.
You
Well,
know?
we should have beat up on the A's,
Yeah.
and they beat up on us.
Yeah.
But yeah. So moving forward, I mean, we talked about it in the beginning that they may be getting some players back. Who did you say, Steve?
Roman Anthony.
Roman Anthony.
He's in the minor leagues now.
Yes. The
His
veteran.
wrist isn't back. His finger's not bothering him taking hitting, so he's just got to get his timing back. Trevor Story is a week away.
Nah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I had to.
how do you say Rushman's our first name? Adley Rush, the catcher they got from Baltimore.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think.
But they said he's activated. He was activated yesterday.
Yeah, he played.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he didn't play
I
yet.
didn't.
No, he played yesterday.
Because I saw something that says they activated him, but he hasn't played yet.
No, he played yesterday.
He must have pinch hit or something. He didn't start, did he?
Yes, he did.
Oh, wow. I didn't see the game yesterday, but I read an article today
No.
saying that they're going to hold him until the weekend or something.
No, he played yesterday. So and also I haven't heard anything about the Ace when he's coming back.
He just started a throwing program. Because I got him in fantasy, so I've been following him. He's throwing 50 to 60 feet. He's basically stretching out again like spring training. So they're saying it'll be 2 weeks to 3 weeks before he can throw 70, 80 pitches without soreness. And the last time he had soreness in the lat.
Well, I mean, that's
He
good.
played on Wednesday too.
Yeah, I know he played because
I know they
showed
activated him, but
yesterday.
I heard somebody say
He played on Tuesday.
Yeah, I know he played because they. I
Tuesday and
seen
Wednesday,
him.
yeah.
I seen him behind the plate yesterday.
His defense is really good,
and
even if it takes his offense a while.
And they were talking about him, getting acclimated to the pitchers and different things and
Learning their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, but basically, they were talking about that, and they also mentioned the fact that when those other players come back and his bat gets to swinging too, they could be
right. That's why they didn't make a big move. They got what they got, but they didn't mortgage the farm. Like they kept Arias and some of the other people. The only ones they went after is the catcher, and they gave up that good picture, Iliasan or whatever.
Then they gave up the infielder too, didn't they?
Yeah, they traded Marcelo Maya.
Maya, there you go.
For that middle relief guy who we saw when we went to the Red Sox game. He pitched a clean inning.
Yeah.
I think he hit somebody, but he struck out 2 out of the 3 people. He looked pretty good. But my question is, like, I'm not excited about Story because I feel like the guys who have filled in have done good.
I like this kid that they have there right now.
My thing is, what happens when Roman Anthony comes back? Because somebody's got to sit. And I think it should be Durant.
Yeah, but what they'll do is they'll probably rotate him at DH.
Because Abreu and Rafaela have been playing great.
You can't take out either one of those guys. Abreu's the man right now, and Rafaela is an all-star.
And when they were talking about the commentating yesterday, and it wasn't, I watched it on. I didn't watch it on Nesson.
I watched it.
I watched it on. It was Sky something.
Sky Sports.
Sky Sports. So it was a non-biased commentators, and they brought that fact up, and they said, "What happens?" And they said, "Well, the least talented outfielder," and they said Durant, and they said that's saying something because
he's good.
That's saying something because they said they have an embarrassment of riches in the outfield. And they said, listen, we're talking about a guy a year and a half ago who was in talks for MVP.
Yeah, and won the
All-Star
MVP.
MVP. So they said,
2
years in a row, they've been he was expected to go in trade talks, and he still somehow has remained tied with the team. And then they went on to say, that may not be the case next year. Um, if they didn't get rid of him this year, there's a great chance that he'll probably get moved elsewhere because of the fact that they have such a clutter in the outfield.
But you know what relates to that story, that point you just made? Secretly, they're saying they did try to trade him. But because of his bad season, the value was too low, and they know what he's capable of when he's good. So they said, let's hold on to him and hope he catches fire, because that'll make him tradable next year. But and then his attitude. You saw the incident they showed all over the sports network when he was yelling at the guy to tag up from third.
Yeah.
He was yelling at
Contreras.
Yeah, Contreras of all people.
Yeah.
And it was a shallow.
It was a shallow.
I was like,
he wouldn't have made that.
I was like, that's bad judgment on your part, but why show up another player? So I heard he's not well liked in the clubhouse. Like, he's kind of a loner because he pisses people off. I mean, I can't prove it, but I keep hearing those rumors.
Yeah. It's tough.
Well, I mean, I think his tenure with the Sox will be over as of the end.
If these other guys keep, improving the way they are.
Well, I mean, it just 2 years in a row, he was the one that they were dangling. So I mean,
yeah.
I think next year they'll sever ties with him, trade him, and then let him get a fresh start elsewhere. And then all these guys, hopefully they could settle in, and there won't be no platooning and all that other stuff. But yeah, I just, like I said, and it's crazy not listening to Nesson, because they wouldn't necessarily bring up those points, but when you have a non-biased network that isn't a home network, and they're speaking, and they're speaking about Durant that way, it's obvious that next year it's more than likely that he won't be around. He'll be traded off somewhere during the offseason, and he'll be with another team.
So what do you guys think about if Story comes back? They've had a platoon. Even the guy they sent down, I liked. The Asian kid?
Yeah.
How do you say the guy's name? The Spanish dude that was playing shortstop.
Monasterio.
Yeah. He's been playing
he's
well.
Nasty.
Yes, but he was playing well, and then somebody else was playing good, and then the Asian guy got sent down, and I was like, they had three guys.
Like, Monasterio is like
he was capable.
He gets on base.
Yep, he's come up with some timely hits. He's been solid on defense. He's not one of the guys, like Brian mentioned, the defense has not been up to par lately, so that's one of the things that's kind of working against the Red Sox right now. Like unforced errors.
Like in the game that we went to, he made a bad judgment call on trying to field that ball, but that also made Durant's highlight career too, because he ended up throwing the dude out at the plate.
Mm.
Yeah.
But other than that, the dude's solid.
Yeah.
And his bat is pretty good.
It's funny because I didn't like none of the moves they made in the offseason. I didn't think they did enough. I didn't think they did enough at the trade deadline. And now I'm kind of glad they didn't mortgage the farm to go get a big bat at the expense of our farm system, because now with these guys coming back, and the trade for the catcher, that gives them a lot upgrade there with power and defense. Story and Anthony have been out so long. How long does it take? And then Brian mentioned Crochet. He just started a throwing session 50 to 60 feet off flat ground. He's not even off the mound yet. What's the mound, 90 feet?
No, that's the bases at 90. So the mound, I
think the mound's because Little League's like 60 feet and high school.
Little League's 45.
But he's not throwing off the mound yet.
Yeah.
And he's not throwing the distance that requires. And I don't think he's throwing break and stuff yet. I think he's playing catch. And then they're going to extend him out to 60 to 70 feet over the weekend on his second session. If they get him back, even if it's just for the playoff run, that pitching rotation is doing pretty good. I think none of us like the idea of getting rid of Early.
No, Early's pitching.
Especially since, but he's been hurt, and so is the guy that we traded for. Was
60
it
feet 6 inches?
Yeah, 60.
All right.
60 feet 6 inches.
All right. So, The guy that stepped up to me that's made it tolerable to accept is Sandoval and Tolley.
Tolley's been fucking pitching his ass
And
off.
Sandoval just can't go deep because he was out for a year and a half.
Yeah.
He came back, but he's on a pitch count. He's not going past 5 innings, even when he's been good. I've seen him get taken out after 5 innings and 60-something pitches.
That's smart right now.
Yeah, still stretching, but he's giving you 5, but you have to plan on having a mid-relief guy or split the game up with 2 people. But I think he'll be ready by September.
But the crazy
to go 6 or 7.
The crazy part about that is, and I was high on this guy back in like a year, maybe 2 years ago. I was high on this guy. I thought he was going to be the second coming of Pedro's. Bello's been freaking pitching his ass off coming out of the bullpen.
Not so good tonight we saw him, but he ended up getting the win.
But he did all right. He started out slow.
He put a lot of people on.
He started out slow, but then he picked it up.
But their pitching seems to be intact. They need that one guy beside Contreras. Can't be the best hitter on the team. If Adley Rutschman can provide a little pop, and either Anthony or Trevor Story, I'm just worried about their layoff. You know, like I don't know how, and I don't want to take time away from the people that have been producing. You know,
like I don't like. I can't say I don't like Story, but I don't like what I don't like what he's done for this program.
The money he's getting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could take. He reminds me of the second baseman.
Yeah, Dustin Pedroia. I was waiting to say that. Yeah.
Well, he overachieved last year, right?
Who, Story?
Yeah,
1 year.
We didn't expect him
to stay
healthy, and that was the cause and the concern we had last year. It was like, oh my God, he's gonna get, if he can stay healthy. So he's done the total opposite of last year.
We've had him for what, 3 years now?
Yep.
And last year, 2 out of 3 have not been good.
Yeah,
hurt.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 years.
But like last year, you had him and Bregman. Losing Bregman was big, but then Story being hurt, that's 2 big bats out of last year's lineup.
Speaking of Bregman, he hit 3 home runs.
Yeah. He hasn't had a great year in Chicago, but the last couple of games he's done good.
He's hitting when it matters the most towards the end of the year. And that's what you want from a guy like Story. You want him to be available and to be hitting in the lineup when it matters most, when you're making your run for postseason. You can't help us on the bench hurt.
He's a good assistant coach.
No, anybody can be an assistant coach from the bench. We need you in there actively swinging and doing what you did last year. I mean, because last year he was automatic last year. So we need to get him. He needs to get back. There's no and buts, ifs, ors. You need to come back, and when you do come back, you need to help. You can't wait a whthe month. We've only got a month. You gotta get back in there and get acclimated and make it happen. Because what you said, the money that he's getting paid, you got some of these young guys in here who aren't making any money, and they're contributing.
Yeah, And I think Derek looked up his money the last time, and it was still like 2 more years.
Yeah.
So we were like, damn, he's already making crazy money, and he's still got time left on it. So we can't eat it. Nobody else is going to take it off our hands.
Like another thing, like we're talking about when Anthony comes in, and they probably going to rotate DH, but what's his face?
Matsada, the Japanese guy that's been DHing.
Yoshida.
Yeah.
He don't hit for home runs. He don't have a power, but the dude made contact.
Yeah, he's a contact.
Mm-hmm. He makes contact. He gets on base. It's crazy. How do you replace that if Story comes in and doesn't hit? Or you can't trade him and Duran because Duran's batting 192.
I relegate Duran mostly to the odd guy out, and I bring him in late innings if we need somebody on base.
Yeah,
because his speed is his speed. The way he is on the base paths, he's good.
You can use him in multiple ways. You can use him as a pinch runner, right? And then now you'd have to make a decision where he's going to go, depending on where they are. If it's tied, if it's the 9th inning, you know what I'm saying. You make that decision, but you can use them as a pinch hitter. You can use them as a runner, pitch runner. There's a lot of ways he can still be used. I mean, let's face it, he may not be having that season, but he has the potential to do damage.
But then you get this part of that situation. You went from an everyday player, a former all-star, to sitting on the bench to your role to be a pinch runner.
Whose fault is that? He can't point. He's
right.
the type of attitude that will say,
You're right.
I'm getting screwed.
Yes.
But look at your numbers the last year and a half.
And I agree with that.
Didn't have a choice to take you out. Now.
I agree with that 100%. But that changes a person's attitude towards the team.
Well, we don't plan on keeping him long-term anyway. So
Yeah,
get through this year. And
he won't be here.
Let him start off somewhere else.
When it comes, I mean, they're gonna have to manage it somehow, some way. You're gonna have to manage it, and when those guys come back, it's not a given that they're going to be
we don't
playing
know what to
every
expect
day.
from Anthony.
They might just come in, like they might play 2 days, a day off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Until they get fully acclimated, and it's not automatic that they're gonna come back blazing bats.
And that's what I'm worried about too.
So this is where the manager makes his money, figuring out how to juggle that lineup, and he's gonna have to do some managing.
The easiest one to plug in is going to be Story, because there's not a logjam. We like Monasterio at shortstop, but there's quality people in the outfield.
Oh yeah.
So somebody's going to be unhappy, and two of them are playing good enough to play every day.
Yeah, it's
not a rocket scientist to figure out who sits.
Like I said at the beginning, it's an embarrassment of riches that they've got what they've got in the outfield. Unfortunately, there will be somebody that's going to be asked out.
And I read today, old friend Kristen Campbell's playing well at Pawtucket, but they've been experimenting guess where? Outfield, because they were moving areas to second base. So this guy's been playing outfield for Pawtucket, and they said he's acclimated. Like he can get the job done, but his bats come around. They're saying he's going to be a definite call-up because their season ends in August, and then you bring up the expanded rosters. You bring up so that's another person in the outfield, but you don't have to rush him along. But situational, like we said, pinch hit and this and that. That's just going to make. And I like the guy they got in one of those trades, Eli White. He's a speed dude. Yeah. He gives you similar to what Duran gives you, except he doesn't have the pedigree of doing it on a regular basis for a whole season. But he's a fast dude. You can use him in the pinch runner role too. So
we do know one thing for sure, right? More than likely, it's going to be the left fielder.
Oh yeah,
or the DH, and the DH is
I'm saying
in the outfield,
the center fielder and
he's an all-star this year.
Yes,
and
the right fielder aren't going to be touched.
Yep.
Yeah. It'll be the left fielder that's going to obviously be getting.
And you know who else I'm coming around on that I wasn't happy about at first? What's the third baseman's name? Durbin.
Yes. He had a grand slam today.
Oh, he did? Yeah. Yo, the last week and a half, he's been playing solid. The game we were up there, he was playing solid.
The crazy part about it, he did something to his pinky yesterday.
Yeah. I seen
it.
So yeah,
he threw it and then hit the grand
slam. You're hot. You don't want
to. No, he got a hit on that. He got a hit. They came out and they looked at him. He's like, "Oh no, I'm all right. All right." Got a hit.
Another one of those moves that I was like, I don't know if I like that, man. I was hoping they got Isaac Paradis from Houston. They were talking about him, but I guess the asking price was a little too much. I thought he was better than Durbin. Now Durbin's starting to come around.
He's playing his ass off.
Yeah.
Him and the second baseman, Sogard.
Yeah.
Yep. Sogard. Didn't he move from shortstop to second base to play? Because I thought he came up as a natural shortstop. I just knew there was a lot of young talent at shortstop.
I'm not sure.
And they couldn't figure out how to play everybody.
The game that we went to, he killed it, and he's been killing it ever since.
But I know in Pawtucket, or not Pawtucket no more, Worcester, they've been starting the shortstop phenom at second base, just in case he has to get called up and play second base at the end of this year during the call-ups. I'm kind of hoping they don't call him up this year because I'm tired of us rushing our young talent. We rushed Christian Campbell. We rushed Marcelo Maya. Roman Anthony, he played well, but he fizzled toward the end. But he could have been another half a year down there. But it's like we're in a hurry to call up our prospects. And then when they flop, everybody's like, yo, what the hell? They're not that good. These dudes are 20 and 21 years old. Arias is 19 or 20, whatever he is. You know, you got to give those guys a little bit more seasoning and time to develop and bring them up when you're ready. You don't have to bring them up right now. Expanded rosters, yeah, you could, but I wouldn't mess with bringing any of those guys up right now and expect them to play and contribute, because as much as we want to see him, the minute Arias doesn't hit, oh, he's a bum. He's only been in AAA for like 10 games. You know, I mean, he was killing AA. Yeah. He's doing good in AAA, just not enough of a sample size. So,
yeah. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, how in moving forward, you know, how they respond. Like you said, Derek, you got to beat up on these National League teams.
You got to.
They're not on the same level. You took care of all the good National League teams.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and not only did you take care of them, we swept them away. You know, at one point, I believe in that 30 game, that 27-3, we swept. There was four first place teams that we swept. And two were in the National League and two were in the American League. So it's like, listen, if you can sweep those guys, I mean, it should translate over into, you know, some.
It's got to be a lack of concentration. You get hyped up for the big challenges, and then you kind of lower your guy. Oh, it's not the Dodgers. Oh, it's not the Yankees.
Yeah, well,
because the Yankees were one of those teams that we swept.
Yeah,
they were
four.
They were in second place.
No, but good teams.
Yeah,
like,
no, I'm saying first place. So we swept the Dodgers. We swept
it wasn't the White Sox.
We swept. Yes, we swept the White Sox. Yes, we did.
At Fenway.
We swept in our own division. We swept the Rays. And there was another team that we swept. There was 4 first place teams that we swept. All
who's
within
in first place
third.
in the West Division?
Is it the Cubs?
No.
Who?
No, I'm thinking, who did we play? That might have been in the Westwood, the A's division. A's, Angels. We didn't play Seattle.
No.
And then there's a 4th team that's in that division. I can't remember who it is.
Houston's in that division.
Oh yeah, Houston's in that division.
Oh, we didn't sweep though.
No.
Mm-mm. So it had to be another National League team. We didn't sweep Atlanta. We didn't play Atlanta, right?
No.
Philly. I thought we lost to Philly. Lost. Old friend Schwarber hit a home run or 2 against us.
White Sox, Rays, White Sox, Astros. That's who. Why am I not?
But I know we just got our streak broken. Well,
Rays,
2 series in a row now. Well, we won the series.
Dodgers.
Brewers in first place.
Yeah. Yeah, they got the best record in the league right now.
Yep.
White
they got
Sox.
a better record than the Dodgers.
White Sox.
Yeah, White Sox are first.
Yeah, we swept them.
Yeah.
So we swept them, the Brewers, the Dodgers.
Rays.
The Rays.
We didn't play the Brewers.
No, we didn't play.
Oh, I thought you said the Brewers.
No, I was naming the teams that are in first place.
No, we didn't play.
We swept the Rays, White Sox, and Dodgers.
Yeah, Derek. Hopefully, we do turn it around this weekend. We need to get on another winning streak. Not a 27 out of 30 because that's asking a lot. But you know, a nice 6.
Just stay above
7.
500.
That's what I said. We don't have to play 850 baseball. 650 baseball would be good. Above 500. You try to win the series. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Moving forward, just win the series.
Yeah.
2 out of 3, 3 out of 4. Even if you split 2 out of 2.
In that stretch, the 27-3, whatever, we won 9 series in a row.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That is what they did was historic for with the franchise.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully they'll turn it around this season. Anything else before we close?
Well,
out?
just what do you guys think about their pitching?
I think their pitching's fine.
Pitching's great.
Their pitching's
Suarez has been good, except for here and there.
It was
Sonny Gray really impressive.
Even with the one game with the exception of the one game against the A's, they haven't I think prior to yesterday's game, I think the most runs they gave up were 4.
Yeah, their pitching's still been good.
They gave up 11 in the game we went to.
I'm saying in the losing streak.
Oh, in the losing streak.
I'm saying the losing streak.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In the last 7 games,
yeah.
Other than the game, so the A's bombed us. They bombed us. That was like 11-3, I think it was. And then one game against the Blue Jays, they gave up 6 runs.
Yesterday.
Other than that, it was all 4-3, 4-2,
That
3
6
to
runs
1
was because of a key error that led to unearned runs.
Yeah, there was
the
2
pitching
errors.
was
There
good.
was 2 errors. It's not a question of it's the bats cooled off. Timely hitting cooled off. Untimely errors. That's been the problem. So now you might have to just dial in and focus a little more. And
That's right. One of those new bats. We just need one of them to get hot. Contreras has been doing the damn thing. Rafaela and Abreu, they've been doing the damn thing. Hitting for more power than I thought, too.
Yeah.
You know, because Abreu got how many home runs? It's more than 15.
I think 20.
Yeah. I thought the last I saw he was at 18, but I know he hit one the other, or he hit 2 the other day or something. But if any combination of Story or Anthony can contribute,
21.
Yeah. They need one of those guys to come back with a big bat, and the catcher that they just acquired, Rushman, he has to provide some type of threat. If they can just provide, because we weren't getting much of a threat from the catcher spot at all, so that's just gravy. But if Story can come or Anthony can come, and I bet on Story because he's going to get a chance to play every day more, because like Brian and you were saying, the outfield thing is going to be rotation. It's going to be hard to play every day with rotating Anthony into that mix.
Your boy Caleb Durbin has 12 home runs.
Yeah, but he started off bad. And now I'm like, man, I feel bad because I criticized every move their ownership made. Yeah. And it's all been good. They held on to Sandoval and gambled on because they had so many lefties.
Yeah.
That's why Early's gone.
They've
too many lefties.
They've everything that was done in the beginning, all turned around. And that
they were too young to grasp it right away. Too many changes to adjust. But
all right, anything closing before we move on with the Red Sox?
See what happens in the next week. I think that's critical.
All right, we need to talk about the NBA. Some NBA news: new faces, new places. Which players will have the biggest impact in their new homes?
That's kind of tricky.
So let's talk about the new faces, new places. Obviously, we know about the Jaylen Brown,
but it's him and another new face.
Yes. So that's what I was.
So they're going to take away from each other, and they got established players there.
So you got LeBron James, obviously, who jumped on the wagon once he found out that
he went there because of
Jaylen.
Yeah.
Went there. We also had Giannis move from Milwaukee to.
But they stripped the cupboard bare.
Steve, you are going to be pulling. Well, you know what? I don't even think you're going to care about your team for a couple of years.
Hey, he hasn't cared about his team for the last couple of years. What do you mean?
I don't think you can care about your team for a couple of years. He's going to be like, and on.
How you guys making me out of it? We ain't even reported to camp yet.
and on to football.
Just stay on football. Like, basketball's early. We'll talk about it later.
I'm done with this already.
Yes, LaMelo Ball has moved. He has moved over to
team up
to Minnesota.
Team up with another superstar.
I'm interested to see how that's going to unlock. I read a lot of reports, and it's like, okay, so he doesn't have to facilitate the offense. Will that hurt or help him? Because he's never played off ball.
Yeah,
he's never played off ball.
They never had a dominant point guard. Conley's been old since he got there with
Edwards. But I'm saying if you're used to having the ball in your hands, we've seen this.
He's a facilitator.
Well, he's a person that needs to have the ball in his hands.
I think at crunch time
we've seen that though, and we've seen a player, and case in point, James Harden. We've seen when he's moved over and didn't have to be. There's been a significant drop off in his point scoring. I know there's a big difference in athletic ability between the two, but when it comes down to it, shooting or making buckets, it's the same thing.
Shoot, I've seen Edwards make just as many big threes as he has going to the basket.
Well, yeah. But my thing is, how will he adapt to it? But the good thing is LaMelo Ball, he's not shy in passing the ball. Mm-hmm. If you're open, he'll get you the ball.
Yeah.
He'll get his points, but he'll get you the ball too. So it remains to be seen.
And toward his last little bit of time in Charlotte, I think he shied away from shooting as much because the other guy stepped up.
Yeah,
Knipple,
yeah.
and some of the, so he didn't feel like the pressure was on him to come through.
He realized
trusted
that,
him.
He realized that he had a look, and it's crazy because they traded away, you know, some of the people that they traded away for, you know, that you know, some of the acquisitions that you got, you were like, I don't know, I don't know. It just took them time. It took them time, and I think everything clicked after the All-Star break because that's when they went on that. That's when they went on that run, you know, to put them, you know, in the playoffs and stuff like that. But like I said, LaMelo, he'll get you the ball. You know, you don't have to worry about him not getting you the ball because he is a point guard. In
Does have crazy range, but
oh yeah,
it's kind of streaky.
He didn't have to use it though now because you have a remember you still have a big guy that he can pick and roll with, right? And then you have the thoroughbred in which you can run plays for. It's just
make it hard to double team Edwards. It won't be LaMelo Ball's guy going to double team.
What's the other kid's name?
They got rid of Reed, right? Nas Reed.
Yes, they got rid of Reed.
AO?
No, Jarrett. It starts with a J. The other forward that's good. That
yes,
he developed really good.
Young kid with the afro. Let's get the afro. What's his name? I forget his name.
It starts with a J. I can't remember his name. I can see his face.
He's gonna have to step up now.
Yep.
He's gonna have
no
to
sneaking up on guys.
He's gonna have to be the man. You know, in the place of losing the one that got traded.
Yeah, Nas Reed.
Nas Reed.
I just can't remember the guy that's still there.
I forget his name.
But he's a 3-and-D guy.
Yes,
and he's good.
Yeah, young. He's young. I forget his name too.
But they lost Randall, and they lost Nas Reed. Yes, Jaden McDaniel. That's what I said. It started with a J.
But they got AO too. He's not bad.
Oh yeah, the guy that developed last year toward the end of the year.
DeSanimo, whatever.
Yeah, they signed him to a big contract extension. That's why they let Randall go. They couldn't. They had to spread the money out.
You know,
but doesn't LaMelo make decent money?
Yeah. Well, you got to remember too. You lose those two.
Randall and Reed.
Yes. You know, there goes the salary right there. I kind of feel bad for Randall because
he's done good everywhere.
Everywhere he goes, he'll be an all-star, and then the following year, it doesn't go as planned, and then everybody points fingers at him.
And you never get a chance to follow it up. Okay, I did good. Let me improve on that. Nope, you're gonna get. He's a trade piece. He can be. He's serviceable everywhere.
It happened in New York. It happened in L.A. And now it's happening in Minnesota. I mean, it's like he can't.
Now he's like on the Nets, right? He'll be the main guy there.
So I mean, yeah, it is what it is. So who else did we miss? We said LaMelo,
LeBron. How do we think LeBron's going to fit in
at the 4?
I think that whole Philly thing is intriguing because their starting 5 is good, and then they got a nice bench.
Yeah, put LeBron at the 4.
Yeah, they said LeBron will be a point forward.
Jalen, did they move Jalen to the 3?
Yep. Maxey and Edgecombe.
1 and 2.
And Embiid. And have you seen Embiid lately? He's lost 30 pounds. They said that'll help with the wear and tear on his knees because less weight.
He's still gonna flop.
Yeah,
that's all right as long as he can get back up from that flop. But
still gonna flop.
He looked like he got serious about getting in shape over the summer. And he's 25 or 30 pounds lighter than he played at last year.
But you know the funny thing is, right? Right directly after that series was over with the Celtics, remember Jaylen Brown making videos talking about this isn't even basketball. He flops every time. Every time he touches the ball and he falls. How could you be 7 feet and 260 pounds or whatever he is and fall all the time after every shot? So yeah, that's a little intriguing. Like why you go on me so hard like that? Because
at the time they were competitors.
What happened?
You were on a different team and you beat us, and I just wanted to make a point.
But I like the makeup of that team. Now everybody's going to have to sacrifice. Does Maxey have it in his character to give up some of the shine to spread away? Because I think Edgecombe's going to be the one that suffers the most because he showed he could be, but now you got better options.
He's gonna like Brian said earlier. He went from the 2.5,
to
going to the 4.
That's a good problem for everybody except Edgecombe.
Yeah,
Maybe make him the sixth man. No, you
But-
got Anthony Simons as the sixth man.
You also look at it like this too. Like Jalen Brown's not going to average 28 a game either.
No,
No,
that's what I mean.
no,
All of them
no,
guys
no.
have to understand
No,
to win
listen. Yeah, you
high
gotta-
teens, low 20s,
You could listen. The way it is, the way it's gonna work with them is
15 shots.
almost like when you have your big threes. Who's hot?
Yeah.
We're gonna ride that hot hand for the night. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna ride that hot. One day it might be Maxi. One game it might be it might be JB. One game it might be LeBron. One game it might be Embiid. We don't know. But the best way you listen to the guys who played, right? And you listen to the big threes and all of them, and they're like, how did you guys coexist? How did you? And they're like, it's simple. Not everybody's gonna be on fire every night. We rode the hot hand. You know what I'm saying? So I listened to LeBron when he played in Miami. I listened to that big three. They said the same thing. When in Boston, you listen to that big three, so if you've ever watched Paul Pierce and Garnett, they always talk about it. They're like, listen, anyone on any given day, anybody could have probably put up 30, but you feel the pace of the game. You know
who has the best matchup.
Yeah, and you just know who's on, and you just ride that. When it goes south, sometimes then you might defer to somebody else, which is not a bad thing because you still have two more options. But that's how they got to play it. They gotta play it like almost like, all right, who's got the hard hands tonight? We're gonna ride them.
They could possibly have 5 hard hands. Like, what are you gonna do then?
But their bench is deep too. That's the scary part.
So so my thing is they can do what the Celtics used to do with JB and Jalen. So you sub one out at like the 6.5 minute mark. You let the other play with this a little bit with the second team, and then you let that other one. They can do that with two guys, right? Because now you're bringing in, I think LeBron will be one of the first ones to sub out.
I think he'll defer too. His ego will be checked.
My thing is
he'll be able to pass more.
My thing is you can he could be one of the first ones out, and you save him towards the end of the game.
Same thing with Embiid.
Yeah, you save him to the end of the game. Then you let those young guys. You let them do their thing, JB and the two original guards. You let them do their things, and you say, hey, you bring in your and the thing that's going to help them is, sort of like with Boston, those guys who get more time and play with them, it's only going to help them further down the line.
They're going to have the best second unit in the league, because I don't know how familiar you guys are with LeBron and Phylon. But he's a beast. He's a younger version of Maxi, except he plays better defense. And he's a great distributor. So they didn't have anybody to replace Maxi when Maxi was off the floor, because Maxi's a blur with the ball and he could create so well. He doesn't have to create as much because he's got options now. But LeBron and Phylon can now spell Maxi. Maxi can go hard without worrying about trying to pace himself, because you can have Phylon come in for 6 or 7 minutes each half, just to keep them fresh. At the end of the game, Maxi's going to be fresh. Phylon is going to do the Simon's coming in to be instant offense for Edgecombe. They still got Andre Drummond coming in at power forward when LeBron, they're both older now. They can split minutes, and I don't know who's going to back up Embiid, but
they get that there's a 6'10", 6'11" guy. I forget his name.
Not D Wade.
No.
He went to Detroit.
No. The backup center. He's like, I forget his name. He's like 6'10". He's like a shot blocker. Not bad in the post either. If you look up his name and you say,
I know they were 9 deep when I looked at their roster before, saying 9 guys who should play every day, regular minutes.
Adam Bona.
Yes, that's his name right there.
What's his name?
Adam Bona.
Yeah, Brona. That's his name.
I don't even know who the hell that is.
Dean Wade is still on that roster.
He played.
He got traded here. Then I know D Wade got traded from Cleveland. I thought he went to Philly.
Yeah.
That's the other guy that I'm thinking about.
So they got shooting there. Coming off the bench. Plus they got Simons coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm. Instant offense.
And you know what? I thought that the Celtics were going to go back after him, because he could have fit under their cap, but they didn't. They're swaying towards
they also
more
signed one of those guys with the hyphenated name, Caldwell Pope. Caldwell Pope's in Philly. That's 10 guys deep. 10 legitimate guys on your bench. 5. Your second string will be the rookie LeBaron Philon with Anthony Simons, with D Wade, with Drummond.
Caleb Love, he was all right.
Caleb Love's over there?
Yeah.
Wow. He came over after the season though, right? Wasn't he in Portland or somewhere? Or did he go to Charlotte for a hot minute? Oh no, they got rid of the guy they kept was why they got rid of Ball. He was another guy in that same Caleb Love mix, but he played real well for Charlotte.
Portland.
Yeah. Portland had an abundance of. That's another thing.
Ja
Morant is now in Portland, and they had way too many point guards. Drew Holiday hasn't been traded yet.
No, he's gonna stay.
He's a free agent, isn't he?
No, he's staying.
No,
he's staying there. No, so what happened was
they got rid of one.
You get traded. You go with your contract, and he had a 3-year contract, so they got him for another year.
But you look at that situation. They acquired Ja Morant. Damian Lillard comes back from being hurt. They got the young kid that was a point guard.
And you got rid of Anthony Simons too.
Yeah, but you got rid of him at the beginning of the year, whatever.
Yeah.
But as it stands right now, you can't play 4 point guards. Damian Lillard's a point guard. Who's the young kid that got drafted like 2nd overall? He played pretty well last year. And then you got Ja Morant. And then you got Drew Holiday, who can play the off guard too. And I think they had Caleb Love. Yeah,
I heard. I mean, you know how rumors fly, but I thought for a second that
Scoot Henderson.
Yeah, I thought that for a minute that there was talk about whatchamacallit going to Philly. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, no.
Who going to Philly from Portland?
What's his name? The one that played for the South. He used to play for the Celtics. You just said his name. Holiday.
Oh. Because he started his career there. That's who drafted him.
Yeah.
Then he went to New Orleans.
I'm like, oh, if he goes there, I mean, that would be the
that would kill their draft pick getting any burn this year.
That would be the the icing on the cake, man, because you're talking about a defensive lockdown guy right there too.
And that's the other thing Philly got better on, because we all know Jaylen Brown can play defense. Their rookie can play defense. Embiid can play defense. Everybody looks at what you can do offensively for that team, but they also got so much better defensively. So it's one thing to be able to score. It's another thing to say, Jaylen Brown, go lock down the forward that's hot. Bring in the rookie Philon, go pressure him all the way up court and disrupt him. And then you got Embiid in the middle in case somebody gets by one of those dudes that can block shots. So do you think Morant will do anything in Portland? Because with that log jam, I didn't understand that trade at all. They got some young players.
They just wanted to unload them. Yeah, no. So you got, but the good thing with Morant, he could play number 2 if he wants. I mean, is no.
He doesn't shoot good enough.
Dame could go off to the number 2.
I would put Dame at the number 2.
Yeah, you could put Dame
from anywhere.
You can put Dame
logo.
You can put. I mean, you don't have to be a shooter. Because look at it, right? When the Celtics had Drew Holiday, he wasn't really their point guard.
Yeah, there's him and Derek White.
Yeah. They didn't really have the offense that they ran because and that's the same.
And the forwards were able to handle the ball.
There you go. You had the Jays handling the ball. But that's another thing. I mean, we look at Chicago when they used to run their triangle offense. The emphasis wasn't on the point guard. Ron
Harper wasn't a point guard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you're going to have to implement an offense where you. So I'm looking at it, right. So they got we forgot about Shaedon Sharpe. I mean, he's
an off guard.
Yes, he's an off guard. So he's a true off guard. But any one of those
other plugs up the guy picture, because if you move Lillard over,
any one of those guys, what you're gonna see with them is them playing a lot of small ball. You have no choice.
Maybe play fast
because you got Ja Morant, Dame Lillard, Scoot Henderson, Drew Holiday, and then you've got
Shaedon Sharpe, the white dude that's real good over there. He had a great year last year.
Donovan Clinic.
No, that's the kid from UConn. The foreign kid.
Yeah, Hanson?
What's his
No, Hanson was a rookie too.
name? City Cisco.
Denny.
Denny
Avid.
Avid.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was the leading scorer, the second best rebounder. He's a playmaker forward. He runs the floor. He was like their best player last year.
Shaden Shop averaged 20 points a game.
He did,
that's
but
what
he
I'm
got
saying.
hurt twice.
Yeah.
He has to stay healthy. And that's why I said there's a log jam. If you move Damian Lillard over, you could. Or does Dame come off the bench now because of that injury and he's a little older?
You can move Shaden to the
But you got Scoot and Shaden. That's your backcourt in the future.
They're going to have to play small ball.
I think Morant's going to be the guy that sits.
Oh, I doubt it.
I
doubt it. All the money that he makes
into their future.
All the money that he makes.
Yeah, you can't sit him.
I think he's there as a luxury in case Lillard can't come back from injury or Lillard's not ready right away.
Yeah,
but when Lillard comes back, Morant might play at the beginning, but when Lillard comes back,
I don't foresee him going to the bench. That's just too much money.
Who's going? Somebody.
Well, no. What you're going to see is them. They're going to play small ball. They're going to play small ball.
4-point guards?
No, not 4. There'll be two 2-point guards basically. I mean, the way I see it is
so Shop doesn't start now.
So the way I see it, Drew Holiday's not going to start. Drew Holiday's not going to start, right? So you can he'll come off the bench, right? So I'd say you'd have to start Lillard.
Klingen's their big guy.
Morant, Lillard, Morant, right? I don't know if Drew Holiday. I mean not Drew Holiday.
They could go to a 3-guard offense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it would be Morant. I'd say Morant, Lillard, and then Shaden Sharp, and then you have off
the bench.
Then you have well, I'm talking about for forwards. So then you got the Avija, and then you have
Klingen.
Yeah, you have
because they got rid of
Robert Williams too.
Robert Williams.
They
Williams off the bench.
They just signed him.
Yeah, but
they just signed him.
Did you see Klingen's numbers last year?
No.
He's more offensive oriented,
but he's also a shot blocker.
Yeah. Well,
he blocks as much or more than Robert Williams.
Robert Williams is shot
without getting in foul trouble. But he's a bigger body. He's
more offensive.
I think Robert Williams comes in for Klingen, and they don't lose nothing because they got shot blockers no matter what.
87 too.
Yeah.
So
and they got the Chinese kid that you mentioned.
So Robert Williams they just signed him. He ended up getting like close.
That
to
was somebody I thought would go to the Celtics, either him or Holiday. Neither one.
He decided to stay.
Yeah, that Chinese kid's 7-1.
Yep, he's a great passer, but he has to work on his off. Klingen's outplaying him, and Robert Williams outplaying him. So if them guys are healthy, he's the odd man out. Portland made the playoffs last year, right?
Yes.
So
they
another year of season.
They actually beat Minnesota 1 game.
Yeah.
They end up losing 4-1, but
Robert Williams probably come off the bench.
Yeah, he'll come off the bench.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
He'll come off the and it is. It's a great problem to have.
You always got a shot blocker in there.
Yes.
Between him and Klingen, you always got one in.
What was I gonna say? So he was the last player that we forgot.
Well, we didn't talk about Giannis either. Like, what's Giannis's impact going to be in Miami?
Well, Giannis is going to be Giannis.
Well, the team, though,
the players. It's just
they depleted everybody.
Should we say? Should we better word that? What's the Giannis impact going to happen with him being gone in Milwaukee?
Well,
we already moved on from there.
Oh, we know that. I mean, you're looking at the lottery.
They got him and Bam, and then a bunch of also rans, because they traded the leading scorer that he went to Detroit.
But this is the thing
from the
them,
Clippers,
right?
Powell.
This is the thing with them, right? Every year we always say, who are they going to have? But they always find these gems.
Yeah, they do. People we never heard of.
They
play for a big contract in Miami.
They are similar to they play which is what do they call it in Oakland? Billy Ball.
Yeah.
Where they find these guys who end up overachieving, and then you're like, where did they come from? That's what they're going to end up doing. So I don't know. I mean, you traded away a lot. We'll see what the return comes in. Now, if we had to talk about the backlash of losing Jaylen Brown, where do we think the Celtics are going to finish? because I see a lot of the analysts are still picking them to finish the high. They're still
I don't
because they played without one superstar last year. They know it's possible, but I don't think Tatum, because of the defense, he's not as good as Jalen was on defense.
in my opinion, it all depends on if Paul George stays healthy.
Yeah.
Because everybody's sleeping. Everybody thinks Paul George is a bum.
no,
He's not a bum.
no, he's
He
not a
can't
bum.
lead no more. He's past his prime.
But
Yeah,
he's,
no,
not
he's
gonna,
not a-
he's not expected to lead on that team.
So what they're counting on him
Derek
for
White has to bounce back.
with it, yeah. So Derek White has to bounce back.
He
And
was good.
Pritchard's going to be counted on more now.
Mhm.
Whether it's leading the second team or even
That's right. Like
even more points,
Better off.
more points per,
defensive liability. To be
even
on the sideline.
even more points per. But I see a lot of people, and even Vegas still got them in the top 5 in the East. So it's not like there's a huge fall off of them. Where it's like, okay, they lost Brown, and now all of a
Top
sudden
5.
people are going to be like, yes, they got them in the top 5.
New York, Philly, Cleveland. I'm trying to think who else is in the East. Detroit,
And Boston. There you go.
Boston over. There's somebody else we're missing.
No,
Detroit and
They
Cleveland.
don't put the
Orlando. Who you?
No,
No,
so-
the
no,
Knicks.
No, I'm thinking about
the
the teams that made it.
Knicks and
So
Philly
Orlando.
and
So the
that-
teams that were missing that made the playoffs.
Atlanta.
Orlando,
I like
Orlando,
Atlanta. Atlanta's right there now.
Orlando, Atlanta, and Charlotte.
Charlotte's
Those are your teams
Atlanta's
right
the only
there.
one that beat the Knicks. Like
Tho-
they beat them
those-
the most times.
Those are the only teams. Those are the teams that made the playoffs. So we just named them. They got Boston at 5.
Yeah, I think it's a toss up between Atlanta and Boston because I think Atlanta added to their team this year.
Well, it's a wait and
I'm
see
trying to
type
remember
of
who
deal.
they got in the offseason,
It's a wait.
but they were overachievers last year. Oh, they got the big dude that somebody else gave up on the year, was it Zah that got drafted with the Wizards? Alex Zah, the other big guy, he had a long name, he was from France. They traded him and got somebody else back. Atlanta had him. I can't remember his name, but he did. But they got a free agent this year too. But Boston. I see Boston in that 5-6 row.
And it all depends how Chris Sennick develops as well for Boston.
I like what he's given them because he's not counting. Compare him to you were talking about the Bucks. We got a similar guy from Tennessee, Nate Ament.
Yeah.
Nate Ament is expected to come in and do a lot right away because Giannis is gone and he was a number 1 draft pick. They don't have no other options. It's Hero and the 2 rookies. In Boston, he can come along at his own pace because as long as he plays defense, rebounds, and shot blocks, nobody's going to care what else he does.
He's going to have 2 guys in front of him with Ikeda and Mitchell Robinson.
But they'll both play center. Sennick will play power forward a little bit, and if somebody was hurt or got in foul trouble, he could move over to center. But he's a little light in the ass to be a center. He's a tall, slim dude, but he'll block shots. He can be a young version of Robert Williams. He's very active. He's athletic. They can throw him the lob. I can see Pritchard coming in and throwing it up there. He's one of them guys that can go get it.
See, but he's going to be a second teamer all day long, anyways.
Yeah, but because there's less pressure on him, I think he'll be more comfortable. Because you can't like, hey, watch out for Sennick over there when you got Tatum and Derek White and all these other guys.
The power forwards. Listen to the power forwards for Celtics right now. They have obviously Tatum and George. I think Tatum will go to the 3.
But
George might.
What's interesting is Dylan Mitchell played real well for them.
Yeah,
he reclassified to go back to college because the NIL deal is bigger than his.
Did he?
That's what they said. There was like 4 or 5. Remember that ruling came out like last week that now you can play 5 years. His old team offered him a crazy NIL deal where he can go back and make like $7 million, but he was a 2nd-round pick for the Celtics.
Yeah,
Sennac. So they're saying that he might not play for the Celtics, and he just had a great summer.
Celtics signed him to a 2-way deal,
right?
So
which isn't a guarantee.
So he'll be with Maine probably.
Yeah. But would you, if he's given the option to go back to, was it Baylor or Texas Tech, one of them schools?
St. John's.
Oh no, St. John's. St. John's.
So he has eligibility.
He has, because he falls under that. So does the point guard from Purdue. That set the assist,
But I think
the assist
I
record. He can
think
go
he'll-
back to Purdue
I
and
think
make
he'll be all right.
$5-6 million. I'd say they retain the rights to him. That's the difference. So, would you rather have him going back and forth to Maine and the Celtics? How much is he going to, or get another year being like getting your confidence up, and then when you graduate, you're already. It's like the Larry Bird thing. That's what they were comparing it to. He's already, the Celtics don't lose his rights if he goes back in the draft. They still.
So I know who the Hawks. They got Lou Dortz.
Yes.
They got Lou Dortz. I don't know if he'll.
I knew
make
they
it.
got a free.
I don't know if he'll make.
No,
it.
but they were good, and then he's a good defensive player, and he can hit the three. He doesn't have to. They're not relying on him to save the franchise.
He's only 6. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He's not a big dude.
He's 6'4".
Yeah, and he plays small forward. I mean, he plays shooting guard. I don't think he'll start. But that's another thing that we have to look at how that's going to handle. There's two things that are unsettled in the NBA right now. One is the Kawhi Leonard situation. They said they were going to have a fast resolution. We don't have any resolution. When did that come up? 3-4 weeks
They
ago?
might have swept it under the rug already.
Yeah, but you're going to report to camp in 3-4 weeks. September is when they report to camp. The first game is Halloween. So you need the 6 weeks to get ready.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember seeing something about that. I think that they it was like a no decision
On the Kawhi Leonard. But then the other thing that I was just talking about with Mitchell, there's a lawsuit. A judge overrode it. Now somebody petitioned it. So it's kind of, if they allow that to go through, they said the point guard from Purdue, who's at Indiana, Dylan Mitchell, and somebody else were all talking about going back to college because the NIL, that's why people are stepping in to revamp the NIL deal. It's good to keep people in college, but now people are saying, I'd rather stay in college because if I'm not a first round pick, I'm not going to make this money. Dylan Mitchell was rumored to get $6 to $7 million to go back to St. John's. You know what the second round? Bronny's contract was higher than usual. It was 2 years, $8 million.
Yeah.
That's $4 million a year.
But
And that was higher than most second round picks.
He was what, pick 55. That was.
I don't know what pick Dylan Mitchell was, but it had to be around the same thing. Second round for the Celtics.
It's saying that it's supposed to wrap up before
The Kawhi Leonard or the eligibility?
regardless of the outcome of the investigation. Leonard is not expected to be suspended from the NBA. The league's collective bargaining agreement does not include suspension as potential punishment for circumventing the salary cap. The potential punishments include team fines, direct forfeiture of draft picks, the voiding of
And that should go right to the Clippers.
the voiding of any player contract, and a suspension of up to 1 year for any team personnel found to have engaged in such violation.
And that's
while
the owner of the
players can be
Clippers.
required to disgorge whatever benefits that they gain from a third-party cap circumvention scheme. It's saying it's just expected to wrap up within the next couple of weeks.
It better.
But there's no suspension or nothing. So
But
basically,
just that limbo. You can't go move to go get reacclimated in Toronto. You don't know if you're going to be there.
Basically, what this article is saying is nothing's going to happen. I mean, if you read into it, the way I see it is saying that, he's not if you're not expected to be suspended, then where we going with it then? I just think that that they're just going to move forward.
Well, that's one major issue. Do you see anything about that new college law about the 5-year rule where kids can go back? Even if they didn't get drafted, there's people in football that went back. It's in football and basketball. It's an NCAA rule. But the NIL money is out of control because it's now higher than what some people can make in the pros. Yeah. Even as a first round pick, you might not make.
So the kid from Ole Miss, the quarterback there.
Yeah, he's in his 6th year. That kid's good.
He won. He actually.
They went to court.
He won.
Yeah.
He won.
He's already getting ready to start his season.
Yeah, I wonder how much he's making in the NIL, especially after last year.
Yep.
I mean, he balled out.
But I'm curious to see what it says about that new rule that went into effect. It's something to do with everybody's guaranteed to play 5 years, and then be something because of COVID. That's what gave people that fifth year. If you lost
Well,
a year because of COVID or injury,
but the COVID, that's over. So
Yeah.
nobody moving forward can worry about COVID because that was 5 years ago.
yeah,
You can't. No one else. No one. You if you.
yeah,
it-
because 2026.
last year was the last year. You could have used COVID.
But what they're doing is what the good thing that rule is doing is you can't go past 5 years. There's some people that were in college, local player.
Trinidad Chambliss.
Yes.
Yeah, Chambliss, yeah.
Yes.
But how long was Bryson in school for? 6 years, 7 years? There's a couple of people that have had that situation.
I think he did 5 or 6.
He was hurt 1 year, and he played like 5 years, parts of 5 years. But my thing is, they're not allowing people to have that 6th year or 7th year. There's some people that were 26 and 27 still with college eligibility because they were granted waivers. That's what they got rid of. They gave you an injury waiver. They gave you a COVID waiver. And now you got dudes that are 25 years old as rookies.
I wouldn't say the Heat. I wouldn't put the Heat there. I'd put Atlanta before I put the Heat. Referring to Paul.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Celtics competing with the Heat for the 5th spot.
Yeah, I like Atlanta as that 5th spot.
Well,
Heat aren't deep enough.
The way I see it is, if like Dirk said, if Paul George could stay healthy, he doesn't need to average the way they play. He doesn't need to average 28 points.
10 to 12 points will be
games.
enough on that team if Derek White shows back up.
No. So my thing is,
15 to 18 points
yes,
would be good.
if he can stay close to or around 20, that would suffice because you got to remember. I mean, a lot was put on Jalen last year, and
he accepted and
he
showed
accepted
improved.
it.
That
But-
puts pressure on Tatum this
But
year.
I think my train of thought is those guys that played last year, the Shiremans, they're going to get better. I mean, they played well last year. I think you got to expect for them to take a step forward in all aspects.
Did they lose any of them? Wasn't there another player that we thought was a year older than Shireman that might go free agent?
Yeah, the other shooter.
Yeah,
he's still on
he
the
stayed?
roster.
Yeah,
I didn't know
no,
if
he's
he
going to
left.
be used in a trade piece. He's under
Later in
contract.
the year, but I thought he might have
No,
been
he's
gone
under
already.
contract. He's under contract for
Yeah,
another
right
year.
now he's still on the roster.
Yeah, no, he's under contract for another year. He'll be gone before the trading deadline.
Hauser.
Yeah, Sam.
He'll be gone before the trading deadline. He's going to be used to get a piece. They've got a trade exception that they got to use before the deadline, so he's going to be part of that, where the monies that they have from that will be added. It's going to be a deferment, so they're going to.
Then they'll
that.
know what their weakness is. If they
Well,
need
that's
to
what I'm
shore
saying.
something up, they'll be like, "We're going after a backup point guard, or we're going after whatever."
Yeah. So I think that if he can do the 15 to 17 points a game, I think that'll be good enough. I don't expect him to be, you don't expect him to put up he didn't put those up last year, let alone trying to put them up this year. But I think what they're counting on is instead of him being a going to the, which to me kind of goes against what killed them the last 2 years, is a spot up shooter. And in losing JB, I thought, in my point of thinking, he was the only one that could go to the basket on a consistent basis
And be
finish.
a spot up shooter.
And finish, yeah. So now you're getting a guy who's a little long in the tooth, who can't really go by you as much as on a consistent basis, who's probably a step and a half slower, although it didn't seem like that when he played in the playoffs. I think it was an anomaly to what he's done in the past 2 years. I think it just was an overall. I think it was just a collective overall confidence by the whole Philadelphia team, and I think everybody caught fire at the same time. It was like the perfect storm. But we'll see. We'll see. How he does, and the big question is he going to be able to stay healthy? That's the big thing. We say it all the time with players who have been hurt. We just went over it with Story, right?
Yeah.
But that's going to be is he going to be able to stay healthy? If he gets hurt, then that trade seems, that trade it'll smack him in the face again for the third or fourth time, because you trade in the division.
That's what baffles me.
That's unforeseen and unheard of. to trade within your own division. A player of that caliber.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's okay to trade if you're going to trade guys that, hey, yeah, here's a piece or whatever. But to trade, MVP candidate
All pro.
and all,
Established
team,
guys that
a second team All Pro guy, an MVP, Finals MVP, 2 years removed from MVP. That is kind of harsh, and yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, if he gets hurt, then people, I told you so. That'll come, and then it's like everything else will come tumbling down with it. So yeah. All right. Any other things before we move on to
Real quick on the NBA, the Lakers just got sold.
Yes.
Record amount. The owner only had it for 1 year.
Made,
$10 billion.
He made $2 billion.
He made $2.5 billion in the 1 year. I wish I could get interest like that off my money. And there's questions about who the new owners are, because Jared Kushner's brother is one of the new owners, and they're tied into the Trump family.
Yes.
Could that have motivated LeBron to leave? You think he might have had some inside info? And you know how LeBron and Trump don't. And now that team's in that family. And they said that the old owner was getting ready to be investigated for money laundering or something. So he's still the owner of the Dodgers with Magic and all them, but he let the Lakers go, took that $2.5 billion 1 year profit. So now if something happens, that money can't be touched. Like, that's a profit. But I heard that he's caught up in some type of investigation that might have motivated him to want to sell, maybe the way they. And then there's the question of Jeannie Buss had a 5-year arrangement with last year's owner to stay around, to transition. This new owner doesn't have any such agreement with Miss Buss. Is she going to be out the door? But there's just a lot of intrigue with that Lakers sale. When I realized who was one of the buyers, and then I was like, wow, there's going to be a lot of minorities that don't want to root for the Lakers. Then the Lakers, we joked about them trying to go all white this year with the superstars. It just seems a lot of similarities are falling into place, and it remains to be seen what happens. But $12.5 billion for it. And what did the Celtics had a record deal? That's way more than what the Celtics sold for, and that was only 2 years ago.
Yeah,
the Celtics were like $6 billion when they sold. That's double in 2 years. Every major franchise is more. It'd be curious if the Cowboys or the Yankees ever sold.
Is LA's a bigger market?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the number 2, but Boston's like number 4 or something after Chicago. But Chicago's not good right now, so that's hard to.
They'll finish ahead of Milwaukee.
Well, New Bedford High better finish, ahead of.
All right. Speaking of which, so there was a controversial list that came out, and everybody seems to have an opinion in regards
Top
to
5 Little League players.
in regards to where people stand as far as the list goes. So it was the Massachusetts AI. We need to say that AI.
Chat GPT.
Who released an all-time great high school boys basketball lists.
I thought it was pretty accurate.
It
Hard to take somebody off.
You can't argue it, but if you go by the numbers and the accolades, they left off a very, very good player. But
They left off a few good players.
who do you take off? Who do you take off?
Because their high school career, and like Brian said, it's your high school career.
High school career.
Yeah, high school.
Right.
And
There's no question about the top 2 spots, right?
Let's put it this way.
Pat Ewing and Dana Barrows had to be 1-2 on everybody's list.
Let's put it this way. There's in the state of Massachusetts, there's only 3 players. There's only 3 players that got back-to-back Gatorade Players of the Year. And those
Pat
3 are
Ewing.
Pat Ewing, Mike Herron, and Chris Herron.
Mike Herron got both?
Mike Herron got both, and a state champion and 2 state championships.
Yes. Now, but wait. So I don't mean to interrupt you. What accolades are we going off of? Because Chat GPT didn't give.
Yeah,
because if we go into it, right, you look at both Herron brothers, right? One scored a lot, but didn't have the
The
he didn't have the championships, right?
But Mike also had the record for scoring before Chris.
Yeah. So but if you go by points and you go by championships, then obviously Mike needs to be in there.
Yes.
He needs to be in that conversation. He needs to be in that area code. But Chat GPT doesn't explain what's the criteria for it.
Exactly.
Um,
Because you think about out of the 5 players, 4 of them are point guards.
yeah, yeah. So
Turner was a point guard.
Yes.
yes,
I thought he was number 2.
Nope.
And-
He was number 1.
and-
Couldn't
and-
shoot. That's why he couldn't make the NBA.
and you think about it, right? Obviously you would have to, if I were ranking players, it would be a combination. You had to have a certain amount of
Win some.
points. You had to win at the
Yeah.
end. You know what I'm saying?
And you got to be the best player on the court when you play.
Yeah, exactly. And when you look at it, right, those 5.
Hard to knock them off.
Yeah.
That's why I said I
It is.
agree with that list, but there's other deserving.
Yes. So it's like you look at it and you're like, okay, well, Patrick Ewing, he won every year he was there. Dana
Dana
Barros
didn't win a state championship.
Dana didn't win, but the scoring accolades are
Yeah,
off the chart.
He had 18,000,
1,800
points.
The scorings and that was before
Yeah.
before 3-pointers. Some of these players like Wayne Turner,
Ramil.
there was a Ramil. Wait, was there 3-pointers? No, there was
No.
no 3-pointers when he played.
Travis
Who?
Best, no 3-pointers.
Ramil.
There was.
It was?
Yes, there was.
Didn't Travis play against Marcus? Or was that Scooney Peck?
Yeah, so there was 3-pointers back then.
Oh!
Yeah,
So-
That's what,
So Ewing-
was
Dana
Dana
Bar-
my last year of college.
Ewing, Dana Barros, Ramil Robinson, all no 3-pointers. All right, so
That's
they're-
big for Dana.
Yes,
Dana
just
was a
imagine if there was
three-point
3-pointers.
shooter. Yeah.
Just imagine.
2 steps over half court and launching.
Listen, so if whatever point total that Dana Barros has, if there were 3-pointers, you might as well give him an extra 400 to 500 points.
100 points a season, at least.
Yes.
If he played 3 years.
You might as well give him an extra 400 to 500 points, right? So some of these other players, obviously, Travis Best and Wayne Turner, the 3-point era. You know what I'm saying? You benefited off of it. But I mean, still, what they did was amazing.
But-
period.
And somebody had also brought up another point. Wayne Turner wasn't considered an MIA player because he played prep school.
Yes. Well, you're still considered.
Before prep school,
high
he's
school.
from Boston, though.
Yeah, he's from
So
Boston.
he's a Boston-bred player. Just what about the point guard that went to Syracuse? I don't know if he won.
Michael Carter Williams. He wasn't a player like that.
Okay, I didn't
That
know,
caliber.
but he was prep too, I think.
Yeah, I mean, so Chat GPT. I mean, you could ask Chat GPT things, and one of the things that they'll say is Chat GPT does make errors too. So you can't always go. And once again, they didn't give criteria for what they didn't lay. They just said the best high school players were, and then they gave their accolades afterward.
Which had to be based on their high school credentials. But what if they changed it to say who were the best to make it to the NBA? Then
That's a whole
changes.
different argument.
I still think Pat and Dana are not 1 and 2.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
still 1
yeah.
and 2.
Well, yeah. Well, but then you'd have to add some players too, because you had players that
Vinny Del Negro.
Yeah, you'd
He
have
had
to
a
add.
great year playing with when San Antonio was good. When he was there starting shooting guard.
You would have to throw players like Bill Lambier in
Yeah.
there. People forget about that, right?
What about Billy Curley?
Well, yeah, yeah.
Well, he didn't go
He
to
didn't
the
go-
pros.
he
I'm
didn't
saying
go-
if they
Yeah, he
went,
did.
Yeah, but
they didn't have a pro
he
career.
didn't have-
like
yeah.
these guys.
But he went to the pros.
yeah, no.
Several of them guys.
No.
did.
But you'd have to say if you add
Who was
in
the
the
best players of all
NBA,
time that
you'd have to
had
add.
best NBA careers.
You'd have to add. If that's the case, then Bill Lambier would probably be the best because he had the most championships out of anybody that from Massachusetts.
Yeah, only because Pat Ewing didn't win one in the NBA.
Well, yeah. Well, there you
But
go.
he had the better career.
Pat Ewing was because of Jordan
Yep. A lot of
Um,
people.
and
were.
Olajuwon.
But
Yeah.
but you change the criteria, then you're going to change the players,
Mhm.
right? So that's where Chat GPT comes in and is like, you have to give the criteria for why the list, what's the makeup of the list.
But for what they did, I
Because-
thought that first 5 was a very good depiction of who had the best high school because they won and scored. But there was people that were in that 6-7 row that if they were on that list, we wouldn't argue. Like I just think it could have been 7 or 8 deep, but you had to limit it to 5. And it's hard to knock off one of those 5. It just really is.
But also, like I said, 4 to 5 are point guards. Like you're taking away from a lot of other.
Well, we didn't have
Great
a
players.
slew of big men. Pat Ewing was probably the only big man. Nerlens Noel was from, but he didn't.
Now,
Brandon Jackson.
Yeah.
You can go.
let's talk about obviously he didn't stay here, but the number 1 draft pick this year.
Yeah, AJ.
Let's talk about the one before that, the number 1 pick before
Just
that.
that it was hard for him to
Right.
win in high school
Well,
because he didn't play his high school.
Yeah,
ball
no.
yet.
So let's talk
Wait,
about the
But he's not from Massachusetts.
who?
AJ.
Oh yeah. No, he
He's
wasn't
from
from Maine. Yeah. He's from Maine. I'm sorry.
He's from
I'm thinking.
Maine.
I'm thinking
Who's
he
not-
would have been New England.
Oh, I was just
He would have been
AJ
New England.
Huh? It's
Not,
a
he would have been
Brogdon.
New England, not
Yeah.
Massachusetts. But yeah, I mean, so you there's so many ways in which you could change it. If you say born, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then it'll be changing again. There's so many different ways, and you change keywords, and then it'll add and subtract players.
See, I think it would have been. I think it would have been a better list if they went by positions.
Because you brought up the 4 out of the 5 were point guards.
Yeah, because
So if you said the top 5 point guards, the top 5 shooting guys, the top 5 small forwards,
I know it would have been a longer list, but still.
there would have been a ton of point guards that would have been arguing about.
Yeah, I mean, different errors. I think you just have to narrow it down, and literally, you have to give keywords, because that changes everything, and it would also change it in ChatGPT too.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Because there's certain commands that you give ChatGPT, and it changes the whole realm of how you do it.
Because obviously, if you go by winning, and I hate to sound like a dead horse, but you go by winning percentage and all that. I don't think.
Then you can include Marcus. 2 state championships, all-time leading scorer at your school. You got the scoring and you got the winning.
Well,
So
yeah.
depends on what the criteria is, because if that's what you're saying, then, then Marcus has more championships than Heron.
Which one? Chris, not Mike.
They both got the same.
They both got two.
But
Actually, don't have more.
But Chris was
Not
rated
more.
as a higher player than Mike, as far as like
Not in high
getting
school.
recruited.
Not
No,
in
but
high
I'm saying, but you're mixing and matching the credentials. If you're saying who did the best in high school, did Chris score more points than Marcus in his high school career?
Yes,
He did.
Yes.
he scored over 2,000, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. Did Mike? Because Mike had more help.
I
No,
want to
he's the
say
second.
Mark had
I believe
high
Mike
and
was
McDonald.
I
second.
want to say he did. If not, it was close. Them two.
I thought Chris scored more points than Mike, but Mike won more.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
But you just said did
Yeah,
Marcus
because
have
I
more
was going to
points
make
than
an
Mike?
argument for Marcus. If you're going to say
Oh, no.
winning, he won 2 state championships and went his sophomore year. They went.
His
Sophomore and
year, they
junior.
won it.
Sophomore
Oh, they
and
won his
junior.
sophomore and junior. They
Yeah.
He
lost,
lost
his
his
senior.
senior. Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. But to have 2 championships, to be the all-time leading scorer at your school, you won and you scored. You dominated. You were the best player on the court. It's just ironic that him and Chris Aaron played at the same time.
Chris was a year older than Marcus.
Yeah, but they were rivals. They played around the
Yeah.
same era. But Marcus won more than Chris. Now you go down to Mike. Mike had a more well-rounded team. He played with Paul Hart and all that.
No.
He played with
Judd McDonald and
the one that went to Richmond. Yeah,
Judd McDonald
Juddy McDonald. Yeah,
and Matt Atta.
yeah.
yeah. So he had help too, But
He had help, and he still put up all those numbers.
Yeah.
right. But I'm saying if he was on, like, Chris didn't have as much help, so he was able to
Score more.
carry more of the load. Yeah. If Mike had less help, he would have had to carry more of the load. So that's what I'm saying. Both great players, not taking nothing away, just for the sake of argument. But
the 2 year and Mike also had an undefeated season when they won 46 straight games. That's crazy. That's going to be a Massachusetts record.
I don't know. I don't know because
Pat Ewing
Ewing
didn't lose for like
much.
3 years.
Oh.
He didn't lose in high school.
He didn't lose much.
But
Not to another Massachusetts
we
team.
could always go to our good friend Chat GPT.
I want to say Pat Ewing got upset one time. They lost to like DeMatha or somebody, but it wasn't a Massachusetts school. They lost. They played a national schedule because teams didn't want to schedule them, and that's when them and Brockton were in the same division before the Big Three. It was Cambridge, Brockton, I think Somerville, but it was Cambridge and Brockton every year. I remember going up to watch Ramil play in high school when I was in college, and Pat Ewing was a few years ahead of him. I think he was 3 years ahead of me in high school, but I was following his career.
77-1.
No,
Who?
consecutive wins. Cambridge
Ewing?
and Latin.
Yeah. They only lost to somebody like DeMatha.
It wasn't overall record was 76-1.
Yeah, and the top 8 or 9 people got Division I scholarships.
Championships 3 straight years.
Wait, hold on.
3 straight years, 77-1. Hard to argue.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But Mike's right there, second.
Hmm.
Wow, that's crazy. 76-1.
But the schedule Cambridge was playing compared to what Durfee, not to take nothing away, but they were playing national powers. They were playing the DeMathas and the Dunbars because nobody around here would play them because they were too good. Nobody wanted to get blown out playing Cambridge, so none of the Massachusetts or Rhode Island teams are going to play them. They played Connecticut, they played Hill House and Wilbur-Cross. Those are all teams that had national, they were all like top 10 schools in the country, and still Pat Ewing went 70-something and 1. Because I want to say it was DeMatha, but I remember they lost to a team that was like a top 5 team in the country, and I think they lost on the road or in a tournament or something. But yeah, those careers are crazy. With the level of competition you're playing. But would you have changed the list based on best high school careers? And if so, who you take off to put on somebody?
That's just it.
I didn't think you could take nobody off the 5, but you can make an argument for 1 or 2 other players that maybe.
Why am I getting here? It says Durfee and 50. It says Durfee with 56.
What about Durfee 56?
Longest win streaks.
Oh, win streak, but not overall record. Like Pat Ewing and them might have lost like in the middle of that 76-1. They might have lost in the middle, but consecutive games
56
won.
56 games.
That sounds like the UConn women.
56 games.
UConn women had like 80-something games. They went 2.5 years without losing.
But yeah, so the bottom line is there's 2 things that I think that are skewed. Obviously, the criteria, and I think people get so enamored with oh well, this player did this, but he went on to college and they did this in pros. It's in a box. It's high school, not anything beyond. And all those comments you see people arguing, well, he did this in college and went on to that. No, it says high school. Why are you going anything further than high school? So I think that's a big part of it. People get lost. And it's the focus is high school. It says it, high school basketball.
In that 76-1 record, their longest win streak was 34 games.
Yeah,
so they lost in the middle. Yeah.
They lost.
Durfee just happened to win 56 straight.
They lost to Wilbur-Cross High School.
Yeah, that's what I said. They lost to somebody that was a top 10 school in the country. That might have been the Super John Williamson days, because I remember he played at Wilbur-Cross.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so that would be that accolade would go to Mike, 56 games straight.
Mm-hmm. And 2 state championships.
Yeah, and so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways in which you can go by and talk about it, but just to add a simple who was the best players, how did you arrive at that?
Right, because if you had to win, there's a lot of great players that are on teams that were not that great, didn't win nothing at all, but they just dominated because they were the best player on their team. But if you had to win and dominate, the list shrinks.
Yeah.
But all those guys, I think, even though Dana Barrows did not win,
Travis Best
he won enough.
I don't know if they won it.
Travis Best went to the Final 4, because he played at
Scored 80
Springfield Central.
Scored 82 points. In the game.
81 in the game.
81 or
Yep.
82, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, it's up. I don't see like you said. It's hard to say no to any of those five, um, but keywords will change the whole dynamics of everything. Um, so it's in the eye of the beholder. That's the way I look at it. Everybody's gonna have different opinions. Um, there's nothing set in stone where it's like, oh, they're in the Hall of Fame and they're the five best. There'll always be a debate as to who they are.
That's what makes debates interesting, because
Yeah.
as long as you got valid points, you can make arguments for
The
number
way
of
I look
reasons.
at it, if your name is mentioned, then you did something really well while you were in high school. You did something really well, and just the mere fact, if you got, if you ended up with a state title, and you led your school, and you were, top five, or even top 10 in the state, that's an accomplishment in its own, because I
'Cause,
mean,
correct me if I'm wrong, Brian Edwards' name wasn't mentioned, and
No.
didn't they, because he played at Cohasset though.
Yeah.
But he won two out. He played since 8th grade, and he won, I think, 2 state championships when he played with Tony Bogarty and who was the center. Bogarty was a point guard. They had a center that was good too, and Edwards was 8th, 9th grade. But he's the all-time leading scorer in Massachusetts history because he played since 8th grade. He broke Ronnie Perry's record that went to Holy Cross.
yeah, they can still do it in high school now. You need a waiver. You can still play, but you got to have a good reason for it. So it happened in baseball for Dartmouth. They didn't have enough kids to field a team in Dartmouth.
Dartmouth's best won a championship in '91.
So what ended up happening was they got they petitioned through the junior high school, and they got kids to, it's just not like, oh, he's good, he can come on. That I believe they changed the rules. It has to be like extenuating circumstances or whatever for them, and especially now with the MIA, they've got a lot of
Now high school
rules
kids
in
get
place.
NIL deals and stuff.
A
So.
lot of rules in place. So yeah, it's different. But yeah, 8th grade, I mean, that's pretty silly. Coming in and doing that. But yeah, it's a lot, to take on, for a list. Once again, I hate to be redundant, but keywords, key players, keywords will add or subtract from the list. But yeah, that's it's 8 o'clock. You want to go see the game, so
Well, before we leave, I think congratulations are in order for Brian Rudolph. He was named head coach at Bristol Plymouth High School today. A new challenge. Got to get used to the kids out there. I'm sure he's familiar with some, but it's not like being in New Bedford.
But he can get it done anywhere.
He gets to start fresh and build his own program.
He's gonna get it done.
And I'm sure there's going to be kids in that area that want to come play for him.
Yeah. Yeah, congratulations going out to him. And also, if you're not doing anything, something else that's going on that's very big in the city, the ASAP program is putting on a back to school, pretty much it's basically going to be from 12 to 5. It's going to be held at Magnet Park. And the crazy thing is, so 30 years ago, I did, when they first, remember when they had the grandmothers out there and stuff, and they started that. 30 years ago, I have it somewhere on my timeline. I'll have to look it up. I did, my brother and myself, we did the cookout and stuff that they had out there. And once again, here I am 30 years later, again, blessed enough to say that I can be able to do it, still here. And still, I'm watching three generations, move. I sat and I thought about it, and not only thinking about it, it holds something in my heart too, because the park is named after my grandfather. So, it's a lot. So if you're not doing anything, you got kids, bring them out to Magnet Park. 12 to 5. The AAU program ASAP is putting it on at Magnet Park from 12 to 5. There'll be music, food. Actually, I believe there's a 3-on-3 basketball.
Yeah, they do
3-on-3 basketball.
Gotta be
They'll
some
be giving
music
away.
involved,
Well,
besides the DJ.
I'm surprised. I'm supplying music.
Yeah, but I thought maybe some performance, some local
No, there's no
dancing,
performance.
singing, rap.
No. There's none of that. It's just
Dang, Buffett got so much talent.
Yeah, but this is for the ASAP basketball program.
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking
They're giving back.
back
They're giving
passes.
back.
No,
Yes, they're giving
no.
back. It's for the school. It's nothing of that nature. I mean, and you know, you just want to you do things like that. You want to keep them bland. You don't want to. You know,
overloaded.
there's enough things going on.
It's for the
within
kids.
City. Yeah,
It's for the kids. It's not for the young adults. It's for the kids.
yeah. So yeah, 12 to 5 Saturday at Magnet Park. So make sure you go and support that. I think it'll be a great event for for all the kids and moving forward. So make sure and check that. Also, just roll right over into Sunday. We got the day party. Will be happening down at Port Royal from 3 to 8 ish.
Yeah, ish.
3 to 8 ish. Last week, basically we had to kick people out at 9:15. That gives you some,
Well, we didn't kick anybody out. You could still.
Well, yeah,
stay
you could
and
stay.
enjoy
You
yourself.
could-
The music ended.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I had to kick the DJ out
Yeah.
because he was just killing it.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be taking place this weekend. So there's a number of things that are going on. So yeah, it's good.
Hey, now
Um,
you think about it, Maggot. 30 years ago, when you and your brother did this, the people that are running ASAP now were probably running around with snots in their nose
Yeah.
at your
Yeah.
thing 30 years ago. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and that was all started by the grandmothers. They used to have cookouts, and it got to the point where like, hey, let's do some more for the kids.
Yeah.
It got to the point where you had some community leaders that took it amongst themselves to petition the city, and they got all kinds of donations and stuff from local businesses and stuff, and it turned into that. So yeah, like I said, in 30 years, you're talking two different generations.
Yeah.
And now there's a third generation that'll be coming up. Like you said, snots running around with snots and boogers in their nose, and you could see them there. But yeah, if you're doing anything, you're looking for things to do with the kids, make sure you check that out. It's a youth celebration day, backpacks, school supply giveaways, 3-on-3 basketball tournament, free food, ice cream, music, face painting, and rock climbing, and much, much more happening at Magnet Park, which is located on 370 Middle Street. So yeah, that's going on this week. Anything else before we leave, guys? Anything else?
About sums it up.
We'll see you all next week here.
Dun, 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 dun.
We'll see you all next week, and we'll have some sport. Hopefully, it's all good news. And no one gets hurt. But yeah, we'll get to talk a little.
Recapping NFL preseason.
We'll get to talk a little. We'll see some rookies and some other, maybe some new players on new teams, whatever the case may be. But it just gives us another subject to talk about. So make sure you tune in next week.
Oh shoot! Breaking news.
Here we go.
Minnesota
Here we go.
Vikings
Here we go.
signed Aaron
Here we
Rodgers.
go. Here we go.
He's already warming up. He's on the field right now for Pittsburgh. So
All right. With that being said, we're gonna fade to black, and we're gonna end this program and see you all next week. Peace.
Peace.